Can UK expats use Hargreaves Lansdown? Now, the question about whether UK expats can use Hargreaves Lansdown is frequently asked, and it's been something that I've been asked before. And this is especially the case if you've already got an account with the brokerage. Now, first of all, before going into that, if this is your first time on the channel, I specialize in helping expats and high net wealth individuals optimize their wealth. If you want to find out more, go over to adamfire.com. Now, when it comes to Hargreaves Lansdown, they're probably the biggest DIY brokerage in the UK now. And the simple answer to the question is, they do accept UK expats if you're in the European economic area. But with Brexit and all the other things going on, who knows how long that's going to last for. In comparison, if you go outside the area, you are only supposed to keep the account open, not add money to the account. So if you move, say, to China or anywhere outside the European economic area, your account isn't usually closed down. I don't know if you go to a very high risk country, say if you're working for the UN and you go to, say, Ethiopia or something like that. I'm not quite sure, but I do believe that in general, you can keep your account open as an expat, provided you don't actually add more money outside the European economic area. What some expats do, though, is they'll use their UK address to actually keep adding money to their account. But this is not a very good idea, because actually one day the brokerage might find out about this. They might actually close down your account. So in general, it's good to actually keep everything kosher, so to speak. And I've ran out of the number of people, not just British expats, but Canadians as well, who basically have had their accounts closed down, or they've had other problems because they haven't kept everything completely up to date and correct. And I think especially in the next few years, this is going to be important, because right now the UK is relatively liberal when it comes to expats and taxes. Some countries like Canada and Australia and others, basically they assure, or they make sure, that if you want to kind of be seen as a non-resident, you have to show intent and always cancel your gym membership. Don't add money to your investment accounts. Really show you don't intend to come back. Otherwise, you do sometimes have to pay taxes. And I think because the UK government is actually looking for more money, obviously, because of COVID and other issues, expats could be an easy target in the future. I don't think the UK will go in the American direction anytime soon and saying you've got to pay tax, or at least, if you're earning over 100,000, you have to pay tax as an American overseas. Or well over 100,000. I think it's about $120,000. But I don't think the UK will go into that direction. But what I do think is a possibility is that over time the UK will toughen the so-called ties test. And basically, if you keep more ties to the UK, more people will be considered a UK kind of resident for tax. So I would say in general, to avoid that risk, it's actually better as soon as you leave the UK to do everything offshore, bank offshore, invest offshore, really show intent to be future-proof, because I think a lot of changes are going to come when it comes to expat taxes. It might well start with high earners. The UK government might say, well, if you're earning over £200,000 or something, or you've got this amount in your brokerage account, you might have to pay taxes or whatever. But basically, I would keep a clear distinction between saying, I really don't live in the UK. I'm doing everything outside the UK now. Just to be future-proof. Beyond that, offshore, there are loads of offshore platforms, both if you want to use an advisor or do it yourself, that can accept you as an expat in most jurisdictions. So there's really no reason whatsoever only to focus on UK brokerages. How can I help you? In two ways. First of all, are you an expat, a high net wealth individual, or just somebody who lives in a part of the world where it's difficult to get access to quality investment solutions? In which case, go onto my website on adamfire.com and find out more. If you don't fit into any of those categories, then in which case there's a range of free material on my website, on this YouTube channel, and indeed on my Quora, where I get over 200 or have received over 231 million views in the last few years. And finally, if you want to actually read my thoughts in more detail, go onto Amazon and find my book on there.